Norman Burke from New Milford, Connecticut in the Elva Courier. And starting third, car 97, Stefan Vapaa from Wilmington, Delaware, Saab Sonnet V4. As you can see now, we're rolling the cars. Let's see, you should see second place. There's the Elva, there's Stefan Vapaa in the Saab. Car number 411 starts fourth. That's Jeff Snook in the white Triumph TR3A. Jeff here from Bowling Green, Ohio. Starting fifth, car 118, Daren Mann of Pittsburgh in a 1965 Lotus Elan. Starting sixth, car number 6, Brian Dolan of Pittsburgh in a 1972 Triumph GT6. Starting seventh, car number 9, John Steidehar of Hermitage, Pennsylvania in a 62 Triumph TR3. Starting eighth, car 551, Peter Bauer of Harrisburg in a Datsun 510, a 71 510. Starting ninth, car 167, Michael Moore from Fairview, Pennsylvania in a Triumph TR4. Starting 10th, car 74, Don Wannegat from New Kensington, Pennsylvania in a 1973 Alfa Romeo GTV. This is the car and driver that won our first race of the day, the Mark race, the all-Italian Mark race. Starting 11th, car 51, Randy Evans from Murraysville, Pennsylvania in the 1969 Porsche 911 in Gulf Racing colors, light blue with an orange stripe. Starting 12th, car number 2, Clark Lance from Long Valley, New Jersey in a 1964 Lotus Elan. Starting 13th, car 08, Brad Colasar from West Mifflin in a 1973 MGB. Starting 14th, car 20, Colby Schindel from Bradford Woods in a BMW 2002. And starting 15th, car 391, Brian McKee of Grand Island, New York in a 1965 MGB. Actually, there are about 30 cars that are 34, in fact, that are on the grid for this race. I'll mention some of the other local drivers coming up from Murraysville, Pennsylvania, about 83. Tom Upshur has brought a very nice looking 1972 Lotus. The car has just been finished. It looks beautiful first time out on the racetrack. 83 starting fifth. Next is a BMW, car 73, James Wisman from Bridgeville. Donnie Bechtel starts 25th, car 55, the yellow Alpha Spider. She's from Pittsburgh. Chris Longo from Verona, Pennsylvania starts 24th in car 07, the MGB GT. There's Joe Teplis from Loughlintown in a Datsun 510, car 13. And Ron Williams from Munhall in Triumph TR4, car 61. Tom Hirschberger of Pittsburgh in an MGB, car 113. Cliff McCandless from Grove City, car 53, that's a Devon. And let's see, what else? I'll mention Stuart Long, car 160 from Seven Fields, Pennsylvania in the Porsche 914. But again, a very large field. This is a big group. This is our race group 4. And we started the afternoon after our Mark race, the Italian car race, with group 5. So we'll go 4, 6, and we'll do it for this 33rd annual edition of the Pittsburgh presented by the Greater Pittsburgh Automobile Company, benefiting the Allegheny Valley School and the Autism Society. Once again, thanks for joining us this weekend. It's so full of things to do and things to see and things to watch and so on that I hope you've had an opportunity to do most of the things that you wanted to do yesterday and today here at Shenley Park. Sponsor of this upcoming race is Buick GMC, and we're delighted to be able to bring you these races, try to cover them on the public address system here at the park, which is also on FM radio at 88.7, which is also being streamed live. And you can pick us up if you've got the program. Look at the ad in the back. You can go to the website streamingpittsburgh.com/something/PVGP. You can look it up. There's also there's a QR code you can shoot with your mobile device too if you want to watch or catch up with the live streaming. Also, some of the sponsor tents up in the golf course have a big screen and are keeping up with it there. And if you have Race Monitor on your mobile device as an app, you can hear the race coverage there as well. Well, here's a green flag. We have a start. And it's Joe Maloy, your pole sitter from Bridgeville, in that Datsun 510 that takes the lead going into the first turn. He was on pole, so of course he'd be right up there in the front as they go through turn number 1. Joe Maloy has been racing for a very long time. He's quite an accomplished race driver. He's done all kinds of things, Trans Am racing and much more, Sports Car Club of America, and a very skilled driver. I would guess that Joe Maloy is out front. He'll stay there. Very successfully in SCCA and other professional racing in that era, and that was late 1970s. Joe Maloy, your leader. Norman Burke in second in the Elva Courier, and Jeff Snook in third in the Triumph TR3A so far. About a long way to go. That Saab Sonnet without the roof, car 97, Stefan Vapaa is running in fourth place, and Daren Mann of Pittsburgh in the Lotus Elan is running in fifth in car 118. And they should be just about to come by the finish line. Here's Joe Maloy. And Stefan Vapaa is now in second in the Saab Sonnet, car 97. Joe Maloy at the moment, fastest car out there, a lap of 2:23.6. That was the first lap, the starting lap. For car 83, that's Tom Upshur from Murraysville in that Lotus Europa, 72 Lotus Europa. And a car that was out here for the first time this weekend, Tom Upshur. And looking at the car in the pits, it's very neat, tidy. So they qualified 19th, but not that for the first time out. 97 and 26, we understand, might have come together on the course, something called medal to medal. Norman Burke is car 26, and 97 is Stefan Vapaa. And so they're battling it out. They're running in second and third place at the moment. Vapaa's second, and Burke is fourth at the moment. Corner work is saying they may have touched several times, so we'll see. Yeah, they're running second and third now. Vapaa in second and Burke in third. there, lime green Volvo 544 of James Rogerson from Angleton, Texas, who brought that car up for several years. Green Volvo 544. So Joe Maloy, your leader. But this time by, the fast lap was not Joe Maloy's. It was Norman Burke running in third place. Car 55 and has pulled off. It is in a safe location. That's Dottie Bechtel, the yellow Alpha Spider. She had a fine third place in our mark race to start this afternoon races, the Italian mark race, but just a couple laps into this one, she has pulled off. And we don't know what the difficulty is, but she pulled off in a safe position. So kind of mechanical problem, we understand. There's the battle right there. The two yellow cars going side by side into the first turn. Yow, that's a little scary there. Stefan Vapaa in his yellow Saab Sonnet and Norman Burke in the yellow Elva Courier are running second and third. And actually that time by, Vapaa was ahead of Burke at the finish line, start-finish line, the scoring line, but as they came out of turn one, I think Burke had made a pass. So those two drivers have been perhaps just a little too aggressive as far as the race control is concerned, and they're going to have a furled black flag shown. That doesn't tell them anything other than, we see what you're doing, stop doing it. Good, and if they don't respond on the track, the next step is a black flag that tells them they must stop. So no driver can stop. So we'll see the furled black flag shown to both Stefan Vapaa and Norman Burke. And of course, we do want good, close racing here, as always, but we don't want cars touching. We didn't mention his name before, because frankly I didn't have it. Car 57, Lee Poseidon in the Alpha GT Junior. And it's a car that was prepared by Lee Poseidon had damaged both his engine and transmission at the last event, and Don Wannigat lent him his spare. So Lee Poseidon is running with Don Wannigat's spare engine and transmission in that car. Here's Don Wannigat going by. You'll see him right there, going around turn one. So the furled black flag is about to be shown to our second and third place cars. Meanwhile, we get word that Dottie Bechtel's car will have to be rope-towed probably at the end of the race. That's car 55. Which was off at turn 4. I believe that's 4. Station 4, yeah. Which is just around the corner from us, just between the first turn and the hay bale chicane. is the chicane. Look at the course map here. There are 20 corner stations scattered around this 2.3-mile course. Some oil reported on the track around Station 5, which is just in the vicinity of the Enter Hollow Bridge. We don't know how much there is, whether it's a problem or where it came from. But corner workers probably in that area are showing a striped yellow and blue flag, striped yellow and red flag, indicating that there is oil or some kind of substance on the surface. Well, the order is still Joe Maloy in front, Norman Burke in second, and the Elva Courier, and Stefan Vapaa in third, and the Saab Saunders. Car 20 is reported to be smoking. I wonder if that might be where the oil came from. That's the BMW 2002 of Colby Schindel. Running 13th, I think, 12th. 12th at the moment. All right, I told you a moment ago about the furled black flag that was shown, and mentioned that the next step beyond that was a full black flag. And sorry to say, I think it's going to be displayed to one of our drivers shortly after as the leaders approach the line. But I'm guessing it's one of those two drivers, Norman Burke or Stefan Vapaa, to get the black flag, which is a disciplinary flag, and it's telling the driver you have to stop in the pit and you will be talked to by a race official. So those two yellow cars running second and third have just gone by the start-finish line. And generally when you give, I should say, when a flag like that is given to a competitor at the finish line, it is expected that the driver will acknowledge the flag, give a wave to indicate that he's seen the flag. And this time by, I didn't see any recognition, any acknowledgement of the flag, and neither driver stopped. So we'll see how this works out. Meanwhile, Joe Maloy has led every lap, and that's 6 laps so far. We're working lap 7 out of an 8-lap race with Joe Maloy in the lead. Now, if one of those next two drivers gets the black flag, that means our fourth place driver right now, Daren Mann, may well inherit 3rd place. Daren Mann driving car 118 there. So next time by for our leader, we'll look to the start-finish stand to see if the noose is going out. I think it will. Clark Lance started car number 2 in 12th place for this race. It's the Lotus Elan. Clark Lance from Long Valley, New Jersey, started 12th, and he is now running 5th and could possibly move up to 4th. There's the noose. The noose is going out. And now we're seeing quite a lot of smoke out of car 26, Norman Berkey, and I think that was the car that got the black flag. So he went by. He took the black flag, I think, 2 laps now. Is also beginning to smoke pretty heavily. So Clark Lance in car number 2 up to 5th, and Brian Dolan in car number 6 up to 6th. Actually, 6th is where he started, but he fell back quite a bit. Brian Dolan driving car number 6, the Triumph GT6. The new drivers at this race are wearing a set of little stripes on the trunk lid. It's an old SCCA tradition, the so-called rookie stripes. And I just saw Tom Upshur come by in that orange car 83, the Lotus Europa. Notice that he has rookie stripes on his trunk lid. He is a rookie this year. And it's a good way of telling drivers, perhaps faster drivers who are coming into town, it's just to be cautious as you approach the drivers of the course. So there's the checker. Joe Maloy has won the race. At the same time, we learned that Norman Burke in car 26 has pulled off. I think whatever that was making the heavy smoke off the rear of that car has forced him to pull off right by the hay bale chicane, station 4. That means that Stefan Vapaa is second in car 97, the yellow Saab. Daren Mann finishes third in car 118, the Lotus Elan. Clark Lance fourth in car number 2, the Lotus Elan. And car 551 unofficially finishes 5th. That's Peter Bauer of Harrisburg in the Datsun 510. 6th was Brian Dolan of Pittsburgh in the GT6, car number 6. 7th was Randy Evans of McMurray in car 51, the Porsche 911. 8th, unofficially, Don Wanigat, car 74. Don's from New Kensington. His red Alpha GTV. Michael Moore of Fairview, Pennsylvania, finishes 9th in car 167 in Triumph TR4. And unofficially 10th, car 22, Joe Mendel of Pittsburgh in the Lotus Elan. So Norman Burke, his Elva Courier, he pulled it off, smoking at station 4, the hay bale chicane. He'll get a rope tow. And we didn't see car 139. Oh, he didn't see the checker. I see. Our winner didn't notice the checker. He was going so fast. He just breezed by. This time, I think he sees the checker. So Joe Maloy will take kind of a victory lap, cool down lap. So Joe Maloy will be the last car you'll see probably going around, our race winner. So we've got a couple of minutes before we see our cars pull into the victory circle. Certainly have had enthusiastic response from our drivers this weekend. Everyone I talked to enjoyed the course, the workers, the crowd, the weather, and everything about the race weekend. Everyone I've talked to without fail has complimented the race, the event, and the track, and I hope all of those drivers will be able to come back and join us again next year for the 34th annual Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix. We raise monies for two wonderful charities and have done since the very first year in 1983, the Allegheny Valley School and the Autism Society of Pittsburgh. Meaningful funds have been given to both organizations over the past 32 years, about $2 million to each organization, and meaningful funds used by both organizations to do important work. So feel good about spending a little bit of money if you like. When you visit a Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix event and buy hats, t-shirts, programs, and so on. So there's our field coming in. The corner workers are taking a look at the track surface right around the very end of the course. That's the top of the serpentine. Just checking to see if there is oil up there. And we're wondering if perhaps Norman Burke's Elva Courier, smoking so heavily, might have been dropping some oil in that area. Well, I'm going to put down the headset here and grab my portable microphone and go over and we'll talk to the winners at our victory circle. Joe Maloy is no stranger to victory celebrations, but I think you had to work for it here.
I did. It's hot out there, and it was a good race.
It was wonderful, but you seem to have at least it looked to us as though you had a pretty easy advantage over the rest of the field. Did you feel that way?
I did for a little bit, and then the Elva was catching me in traffic, and I said, I better start pedaling here. This is not good.
But this is always, I mean, you're always a very, very fast driver, and this is a very fast car. It's a deadly combination, the two of you.
It's a lot of fun to drive, and especially around here. It's sort of like a go-kart. It goes well.
Well, congratulations. It was a great race. We enjoyed watching it.
Hey, thanks. I want to say something. I'd like to acknowledge that we lost a great friend this year, and Shirley Schaefer, and we all miss her. She was a fixture around this place for every year that it was here, and 50 years of Shafe's driving career. So God rest Shirley Schaefer.
Thank you. Congratulations. Let's look for our second place, Stefan Vapaa. That's the yellow Saab over here, Stefan. Well, that was a hard-fought battle. You and that other yellow car, they were really going at it like crazy.
Yeah, that was Norman the Elva. We had a good run. Really enjoyed it.
There were times I think corner workers were a little concerned that you guys maybe were having a little too much fun out there.
You can never have too much fun. Come on. No, it was close and a very fair-fought battle.
Well, yes, the two of you look very evenly matched. Were there places that you had an advantage and places that he did?
I'm better on the brakes. and he's got a good bit more power than I do. So coming up the hill here, he can outpower me, and then I would close up on him coming over Panther Hollow Bridge. But it's tough to find a way by when you're that evenly matched.
Is this a lighter car than his?
This is a lighter car, but it's got a much smaller engine. This is the smallest engine in the class.
Well, you've been here quite a number of years, and which is surprising to me because you're a real young guy. But congratulations! It's always great to see you in the car, and it was a great race today.
Thank you very much, Ted. I hope to see you next year.
Yeah, you bet. Where's Daren? Daren Mann. Hey, Daren. Duty calls. You have to come and get congratulated, Daren Mann.
Thank you very much. I have to thank my wife for letting me do this. She's a very understanding woman, and she lets me spend a lot of money and play. So I have to thank her, and I always have to thank my father for getting me into this hobby. So thank you, everybody in Pittsburgh. This is a great event. We appreciate it, and hope it continues for a long time. Thank you.
Thank you, Daren. And the Workers' Choice Award goes to one of my favorite cars in the race, Jim Rogerson, who comes. Do you really come all the way up from Texas?
Yeah, we're from Angleton, Texas, Houston area. I'm about 30, 40 miles south of Houston. So, this is a special event for us. My grandson Riley, who's out there somewhere, he comes every year, and he looks forward to it. And he's been my crew chief for the last 3 years. And so between he and my wife pushing me on, we can still keep doing this. I love Pittsburgh. We have a great time up here every year.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you come, and I'm glad you bring the Volvo, the only Volvo we ever have racing on these weekends. So thanks so much for giving us a good show this weekend.
Yeah. The only time I feel bad about having the Volvo is when these guys, I'm running with them, they take up half the track.
Yeah, funny thing about that, isn't it? Congratulations.